how did the Kansas gig come about?
Well, uh, I really think that a big part of it was when I was in the band Shooting Star. I was the lead singer of Shooting Star from 2007 to 2011 in there. And a show that we did up in Walker, Minnesota called the Moondance Festival. And this was Thursday's lineup. It was Shooting Star, Foghat, Kansas, Sheryl Crow, and then the band that ended the night was Journey. That was just Thursday's lineup. So, and it's a huge festival. I remember pulling into this festival and there are just cars and campers as far as the eye can see. Just a zillion people come to this thing. So, but yeah, Shooting Star, we're up there, doing our set, and I look over and I see Rich Williams at our monitor board. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Rich Williams from Kansas was watching our set. So, at that time, did I think they knew Steve was hinting about retirement back then? That I don't know. But I really think Rich kind of put me in his back pocket at that time. And I've had other connections to the band also. A cover band that I was in back in the 80s called Drama. My drummer, Neil, his son became Phil Ehart's drum tech. So a lot of things fell into play. I knew the band, I met the band before. And so, but it was really strange to get a message from a friend of mine one day who happens to be Dennis DeYoung's niece, Dina, longtime friend of mine, longtime fan, came to all my shows, no matter what band I was playing in. And she messaged me one day, did you see this? And it was the press release announcing Steve's retirement. So, and knowing how things work in the music industry, when something's released like that, I automatically think, oh, that they're in the middle of a tour. They've had to have been working with someone who's gonna, fill in for Steve, so their touring is seamless. And on a whim, I messaged Rich Williams on Facebook, and we were friends on Facebook and all. Rich, it's Ronnie Platt from Shooting Star. Give me some consideration. That's all I wrote to Rich. Very next day, I'm about to leave the house, and I'm like, I'm going to check my messages. Here I get a message from Rich. If you get this, we're about to go on stage in Houston. If you get this within the next 90 minutes, give me a buzz. So I called Rich. I talked to Rich on Thursday. He said, Phil will give you a call. I talked to Phil on Friday. They flew to Atlanta on Monday. I live in Chicago. So Monday, I met with Phil and Rich in Atlanta, flew right back home. I'm back driving my 18-wheeler on Tuesday morning and check my email, and there's an email from Phil saying, congrats, you got the job. The band is pumped. So things radically went into gear there.
Was there any hazing ritual when you joined?
Do I really have to divulge that? No. No, but it does involve a 55-gallon drum of no, I'm kidding. But when you sing Wayward and you're the lead singer of Kansas, you're going to raise your game some, so the hazing, I think, was self-imposed because, of course I'm nervous. I want to do the best job I can. So just get in there and sell it and hope they don't throw anything at me, So.
Well, I know in some ways a band can get tired of playing their hits, especially because you got to play the same thing over and over again. But you've come in sometime after the song was initially released. Do you still kind of look at it like a fan does when you play it or hear it played, or have you gotten to a point where now you've played it a lot where it's kind of ingrained band wise?
That's probably a unique perspective that I have, because I haven't been a rock star my entire life, so I still have that fan perspective. And to me, if I've sung Wayward Son 10,000 times, it's always in my mind that it's a new audience. There's someone in that audience. Sure, you've got oh my God, it's amazing. People come up to me and go, this is my 75th Kansas show, but in my mind, there's always someone in the audience that has seen us for the first time. So that's always in the back of my mind. And again, it's my work ethic of just wanting to get better. And every time I sing Wayward Son, I want to sing it better than the last time. So there's always that new energy with me. I hope that comes across. I think the audience sees that in me and appreciates it.
What was it like stepping into the studio for the first time with the band on the Prelude Implicit?
It came time to do my first vocal track, and Phil comes into the room and he puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, look, have fun with this, relax, have a good time, do the best you can. Just totally put it out of your mind that there's 2.4 million Kansas fans waiting for this right now. Gee, thanks, Phil. No pressure. So, but it's recording that album was intense. We just totally took over the entire studio in the separate rooms, and Rags would be in his room working on violin parts, and David Mannion at the time, he was in Studio B, doing programming and stuff. And it's such everything else is out of your mind because it's so intense, and it's just music is the only thing you're thinking about. It's really, then it's one thing that it's Kansas music, you're creating music with that Kansas label. It's intense. It was really intense, really high pressure, very educational, but pretty intense, pretty wild. And it just continued with the absence of presence too. I mean, recording the last studio album, that intensity was even more so.